I hand her back the plate, and she resumes consuming her extra fishy slice. Damien hands me another plate, this time with a slice covered with various meats. And while that one was delicious, the indirect kiss-flavored anchovy pizza was still the best thing I'd ever tried. Of all time. The festivities continued even after the pizzas were finished. I never have pizza often, but whoever this Mo fella is, hands down, makes the best in town. Inside, Damien and Vinny decided to break out a plethora of different party games for us to play. No one bothered to keep track of time. We were all too enraptured by the pixelated entertainment before us. Which is how I'd missed my last chance home. Mrs. Payne didn't look too upset, though. In fact, I think they expected me to spend the night again. Especially with how Randy had been so quick to pull out some blankets and pillows for me. Both of the parents insisted I stay, and it's not like I could realistically walk home. So, once again, I'm staying over, and currently sat at the foot of the couch with Olivia, and we're both bundled up to stave off the chilly winter night. The soft growling purr that Olivia makes while she's content has become almost therapeutic to me. So, how are you feeling? Yeah? Better. Thank you. For dragging me out here. I didn't know how much I needed it. I'm glad. Her palms wrap around my left hand. She gives me a gentle smile, followed by a colossal yawn. You ready to hit the hay? She shakes her head. I don't want to go back to my room. I want to stay out here with you. Randy would probably kill me. I'll bite him back. Come on. I'll see you in the morning. Olivia yawns again, driving her to accept her need for sleep. After carrying Olivia to her room, I sleep on the couch once more. And as I lay on that couch parsing through the past few days, the thoughts warp into a dream. One in which Olivia and I stood before that park fountain, making a happy wish for the future. Mornings in the Payne residence were lively, to say the least. Okay, so we're now at the point where we're at stuff we've actually already covered before. So we're going to go ahead and skip again. Okay, so we were woken up. I think we were trying to do our normal morning routine, which was like eat cereal and scroll through our feeds, really. So I think maybe that's it. No, there wasn't a whole lot that was skipped over, really. So as far as I could see, I'm barely a minute in before I realized that I'm not even reading anything on my phone screen. There are words, but they aren't saying anything. Just paragraphs of probably fake personal events and vague calls to action. Have they always been this vapid? I decide to finish my breakfast without any literary TV static distracting me. Okay, so that's a nice change, really. So is that he's breaking away from the screens. The screens. Okay. Afterwards, I rejoined Damien and Vinny in the living room, both of whom are absolutely enthralled by the hockey game playing on the TV. And this is stuff we've seen before. Whoa. Soon enough, I feel a distinct vibration in my pocket. Okay, so Vinny is going off to his team practice, really, so we get this. Pulling out my phone again, I check my notifications to see a text message from Olivia. Ding dong, room service. Come drag me out of bed. Figured she'd need help. After all, there's no way she's dragging herself anywhere with that knee. I excuse myself in the living room and head towards Olivia's room, with Damien giving me an approving nod. I make sure to knock twice before letting myself in. Morning, sleepyhead. Morning, stupid head. With Olivia's wounded knee, carrying her is even more difficult than before. I hate to admit it, but I almost dropped her at least twice on the way. Thank Raptor Jesus for Coach Sully's training. But at last, we're here. Welcome back to the land of the living! Morning, Olivia! Olivia, eyes still closed, mumbles out what sounds like a good morning as I set her down on the couch. How are you feeling?
Alright, I guess. Still a bit groggy.
What about, I pat my knee, which Olivia seems to pick up on.
Oh, right. Feels a bit better. Tingly feeling's gone, but it still looks swollen.
We might need to redress it then. Hopefully it should be more manageable by Monday. By the way, what did you do with the ice pack?
Oh, Guts is using it as a waterbed.
Sure hope it doesn't pop. Stagnant ice pack water sounds terrible to be in. Damien and Vinny start shouting in victory as the home team gets the final score. And skipping again. But first... Hey, Olivia. Yeah? When you get your wheelchair back, you can go anywhere. Where do you want to go? Okay, so this is us talking about the date.
Anywhere. Wait, so you're asking me out?
She falls eerily silent as she turns her head towards me, eyes wide open. Yeah, I'm asking you out on a date. I'll take you wherever you like. Olivia's mouth opens and closes while she looks at me in astonishment. Olivia, you okay? I find myself trying not to laugh. Olivia threw herself at me in the strongest hug I'd ever felt. Her arms and even her tail wrapped around me, pressing me tightly against her as she laughs with that cute gremlin giggle of hers. And while that giggling is infectious, my face is pressed against Olivia's ample bosom. Okay, whoa, we're moving quite fast here, aren't we, huh? We haven't even had the first date yet. Come on, you guys, get a room.
No, too happy.
Getting a little hard to breathe now.
Gosh, this is the first good thing to happen in forever.
Can't even move my arms. Olivia's caught them against my own sides. Wait, she's shifting. We're on our sides now, and I can finally pull my head up enough to take in some air. So we're— Whoa! Ah, sweet death throw! Ah, so that's what's happening, as I feel myself flipped over Olivia for a split second, and then I'm back to being beneath her. And then back again, with just enough time to breathe. Olivia, we haven't even decided where to go! I feel like I'm on some kind of personal carnival ride, being spun wildly around across the living room floor in Olivia's arms. It's fun, but very, very dizzying. When the Gator finally tires herself out, I find myself laid atop her. And while I should feel very embarrassed about our compromising position... Oh, this is a nice graphic. This is so sweet. I like this. I'm grinning ear to ear looking down at my equally happy and lighthearted girlfriend beneath me. Ah, he used it. He used the word girlfriend. Even if it's only mentally really so. But still. Actually, I think, as I'm calling it back really so, it's like, I don't think he ever really, used the term really too much. He might have said it, once or twice really so, near the very end. But, this is interesting really so that we're getting the word girlfriend really at this point, so so this might actually be a better ending really. I don't know. I think part of the reason as to why, because I remember last time really so that Olivia was the one that had pressed us about for the idea of a date. I think maybe at that time is that Olivia's score was higher than Inko's. And so because of the reverse here is that Inko was the one who initiated that conversation this time around. So, which, basically makes things gives things a more positive spin, I suppose, really. So, not to say that, I think anyone really in a partnership really so should be able to ask anyone out really to go out really. So, yeah, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl really. So it doesn't matter. It's just if you want to hang out with someone, it's go ahead, go friggin' talk to them and actually go out and do stuff with them. I'm grinning ear to ear, looking down at my equally happy and light-headed girlfriend beneath me. You good, Inko? Pretty wild response. You just asked where a date would be.
Doesn't matter.
Her voice shrinks enough so that even as close as I am to her, I can barely make it out.
I was hoping for so long.
Seeing that gentle smile of hers, It sets my heart aflutter. So, where did you want to go?
You decide. I got nothing.
Me? Somewhere I can take Olivia to really show her a good time. How about a picnic? See if it warms up a bit and check out some of the more scenic places around. Volcatera is beautiful. I want to explore it a bit.
So do I.
For a brief moment, the connection between Olivia and I feels stronger than ever as we stare at each other's eyes until she goes right back into keeping me in her warm, scaly embrace. Sure, it was right in the middle of the living room with Damien still present, but none of that matters to me. The rest of our day was spent in that living room playing more games on the old TV. Hours flew by, and Olivia kept switching up games. I think she was trying to find something that I would particularly enjoy. Or at least be good at. Shame, then, that I seem to have been born lacking any gaming talents at all. We all still had fun, at least. When the sun began to set, though, I decided I should head home. I needed a shower and change of clothes, and both of Damien's parents were still out. It felt bad when I left Damien's place that night. Or rather, I felt bad looking at Olivia as I walked away from his house. It only grew worse as I went from the metro to my quiet neighborhood and ultimately our empty home. Seeing the small pile of letters at the front door made me realize what that feeling was. Loneliness. Maybe I should have just waited to ask the Paints if I could have spent the entire weekend. If I did that, would I be overstaying my welcome? I don't want to abuse their hospitality after all. Ping! Withdrawing my phone from my pocket, I see that Olivia just sent me a new doodle. So we got a little guts loaf, I suppose that's what it's supposed to be here, so.
Coming tomorrow?
Well, I can handle a little loneliness for now. Sure. Kicking my door closed, I head for my computer so I can continue talking to her online. I lose track of how much time we spend instant messaging and sharing videos, but by the time I check my computer's clock, I realize it's past midnight. I didn't even go through my typical routine of checking for updates to my forums and blogs. Shoot, I'm gonna be exhausted tomorrow. Totally worth it. The next few days went very similar to the first. Visiting the Payne residence and hanging out with Olivia's family became my new routine after school. On Monday, I got around to shoveling the snow off the driveway like Randy had asked me for. It was laborious to do, but it felt good to get it done. Felt even more rewarding when Randy thanked me with some sashimi he mentioned during the weekend. Eventually, I'd gotten in the habit of leaving sticky notes for my parents letting them know where I was. Not that they care too much as long as I'm home by bedtime. I won't lie, spending most of my afternoons watching Vinny and Damon yell at the TV wasn't particularly entertaining, but Olivia's presence was enough for me. On Friday, though, while Vinny and Damon were preoccupied by a foam sword duel in the backyard, I decided to plan for our date. The weather that weekend was supposed to be warm, and I managed to convince Olivia that this would be our last chance for a real picnic. That only leaves the location. We've been arguing well into the night over text, trying to decide where to go. I think the beach would be nice.
No way! The marine layer will screw with the weather. How about we go back to the arcade?
Seriously? That place smelled horrible.
Yeah, you're right. There's nowhere worth going in Volcadera Bluffs anyway.
Volcadera Bluffs, huh? Does Volcadera actually have bluffs?
Yeah, dummy, the place was named after them.
Have you ever seen them?
No.
Sounds perfect then.
But those are ages away.
Come on, it'll be fun to get away from home for a bit.
Fine.
I'll be over in the morning then.
Okay, sure. Nighty-night.
I let my phone rest on my bed as I smile to myself. I'll have to look up where exactly the bluffs are in the morning, but I'm sure they'll look nice. Good grief, my man, you're just going to figure out where they are, really, so just the day before? I mean, from what she's saying, really, so it sounds like, that they are hours away, and so this seems like something that needs a little bit more of planning than just, like, a half hour when you first wake up groggily in the morning. I don't know. This is just me speaking here. I mean, it's good to try out new places on the fly, but come on, man. You don't have a car. How the frick are you gonna get there? I don't think the metro goes all the way out there. And if not, well, there ought to be something exciting out there. Yes, like a chance for her to, roll down into the bluffs. Yeah, that's a comforting idea to have, really. So that sounds perfect. It'll certainly be an adventure. I sense danger. After researching our destination and getting dressed, I did one last check of myself to make sure I hadn't forgotten anything. Wallet, phone, water bottle, extra sunglasses, written instructions for the metro lines we'd have to take. Okay, so maybe the metro does go there, really, so I'm officially ready to go. Before I leave, I make sure to leave a sticky note on the fridge to let my parents know where I'll be. Maybe they'll finish watching daytime television in time to see it before I get home. Heh. It's only a short trip to the closest station to Olivia's neighborhood, and a short walk from there to her house. The Paint's place is as welcoming as ever. It's starting to feel a bit like a second home by now. In the chilled weather, the yard's growth has slowed, but it's starting to peek through the thin layer of snow. I hope I'm not commissioned to mow now, too. Should let Olivia know I'm here. I'm here. You ready?
I'll be out in a minute.
Is the door unlocked?
No, don't come in yet.
What?
Just stand by the curb and be ready. This is gonna be cool.
Oh boy. I stand by the curb as instructed, facing the door. After a moment, it swings open and... Whoa! Whoosh! Oh, she has a nice little flower in her hair. A green blur shoots out the door and directly for me. I know better than to flinch. Olivia's tail slams the ground and breaks her to a halt with a stylish skid.
You're here!
I am. And it looks like you finally got your wheelchair.
Yeah, it came in just yesterday. Didn't want to tell you to make it a surprise.
Has that new wheelchair smell.
Dummy.
While it looks the same, I do notice how it's lacking all the old scarring her original one had.
So, do you hear it?
Hear what?
Exactly. I can sneak up on you now.
In your dreams. So, you ready for our date? There's a sudden rush of jittery nerves in my chest. It is my first time taking someone out on a date. Trying to rationalize it still doesn't help my nervousness, though.
Yeah, I'm ready.
She looks at me with a timid smile. Hands held together, she tilts her head slightly. She's wearing a new floral clip. Kind of think it's the first time I've seen her ever accessorize. That hair clip looks cute, Olivia. The worry in her grin melts away into a fully joyous smile.
Thank you, Inko.
Which also helps to ease my own. With my renewed confidence, I step around Olivia and go to grab her handlebars. Oh, wait! You've been out a week. You probably don't need any help.
No, it's fine.
Her tail takes my wrist and guides my hand to the handle.
I don't mind at all.
Alright, to the metro station?
Yes, please.
With Olivia in tow, our date begins. On the metro, I'm lucky enough to be able to find my normal seat. Olivia folds the seat up and places herself right next to me. Something's different. Wow. Christmas lights?
I swear, they start setting up earlier every year.
The white fluorescence of them, combined with the dimmed lighting of the metro's lights, give the cabin a more cozy feeling. I feel my photographer's instinct kick in, but quickly remember that I didn't bring my camera.
Soon enough, the whole city will be covered in holiday stuff by the end of the weekend.
The mental image of a twinkling Volcadera at night is a pleasing thought. There'll definitely be some photo-worthy shots during that time. What do you think of all of it?
The decorations? I like them. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, but what's your favorite?
I think wreaths look pretty nice on the lampposts. And I like all the crappy snowmen and snow angels in people's yards. I've always wanted to make my own.
What about the mistletoe?
Yeah. Shut up, you.
Actually, I'm curious. Are there any dino-specific traditions that you guys celebrate during the winter season? Olivia cocks an eyebrow at my question. Hey, I didn't know you guys celebrated end of summer, so I'm just curious if there's other story-centric holidays I don't know about.
Nope. Just Christmas or whatever holiday people celebrate around this time. There's probably no dedicated one out of spite of the cold.
That's fair. Now I can't help but think of doing some ice skating with Olivia. Dude? Oh, wait, hold on. No, I mean, there are chairs that actually can be fitted with, skates, really, for an ice rink, really, so. Or, she might not necessarily need to have skates on it anyway, really, so. I mean, because you could just use the wheels as they are, I suppose, really, so. Surely there's wheelchair access for it, right? I look down at Olivia's wheelchair to imagine how it'd work, when something interesting catches my eye. There's a small compartment under her seat, almost like a cubbyhole, with some things inside it. What's that?
Oh, I decided to bring my sketch pad with me. You know, since it's my first time going to the Bluffs, I wanted to draw out the scenery while we're there. Maybe I shouldn't have?
Huh? No, that's completely fine. I was just thinking how I should have brought my camera for the same reason, so I'm glad one of us came prepared. As long as we enjoy our time there, that's all that matters.
You're right.
Olivia takes hold of my hand as she rests her head on my shoulder. Eventually, the metro arrives at our destination. After disembarking the train and leaving the station, my digital map indicates the park is still about a block away. As we make our way there, we soak in the sights of this area of Volcadera. Just like Olivia predicted, many of the surrounding buildings are getting decorated for the holiday season.
I've never been around these parts of the city before, only seen them on car trips.
So this is a first for both of us. I can only imagine what it'll look like once all of this is set up.
Yeah, maybe we could come back here to visit once it is.
I like the sound of that. We enter into the park's main parking lot. Looks like there's a decent amount of people here this evening, which is surprising given that it's still relatively chilly. Then again, such a prominent landmark in the city would still draw in a crowd, even with certain weather conditions.
Oh, there's some food trucks!
That'll cover the picnic part. Looks like they got a decent variety of things. Tacos, sandwiches, chicken. Shoot, looks like they all have a bit of a line to them. Plenty of time to do other stuff. I'm not very hungry yet anyway. Glancing around, there's a few gaps in the tree line with trails heading into them. I'd wager they're nature trails, maybe bird-watching ones. Do you want to try one of those trails? Alea looks almost disappointed as she glances between me and the food trucks. We could grab a snack first before we head in if you want. She simply shakes her head.
I can wait. Plus, I don't want any cramp.
La 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 la. Try again, Alms. Okay, I guess I will. Thank you, Alms. You're welcome, Alms.
I can wait. Plus, I don't want any arm cramps on the trail.
Alright then, let's go. Olivia and I head toward the sign indicating where the trail begins, leisurely walking across the dirt path. The mood is somewhat dampened by the hikers to our front and back, but it doesn't make the natural landscape any less calming. Honestly, I wasn't sure you'd agree to this.
What? A date?
No, the hike. You don't seem very interested in nature.
Well, I normally wouldn't, since a lot of places outside of the city aren't built for people like me. But I thought it'd be nice if you were here.
My heart flutters for a second. I'm glad to hear you say that. I think it's a nice break from how busy everything else is. Out here, it's just you and the world, isn't it?
Yeah, I can see that.
You plan on sketching out any landscapes?
I was planning to before we got here, but I think it'd take too long.
Just a sketch, then?
Yeah, I'll think about it.
We continue for another few minutes, admiring the passing scenery. There's less hikers than before. I'd noticed them hanging back for pictures or moving faster ahead, but that was a while ago now. It's just us and the trees. You think any of the others are into this sort of thing?
The others?
Liz, Damien.
Nah, probably not. Unless it's community service or something, Liz wouldn't be interested. And Damien is only interested in setting ants on fire with a magnifying glass.
How old is Damien? Is he 6? My goodness. Something wrong?
No, I just imagine Mia driving a tractor for some reason.
Seriously?
Yeah, you think she could pull off the farmer look?
I refuse to imagine that. Regardless, a mental image of the burgundy-wearing bruiser in overalls and a straw hat invades my head. I hate you. Shaking the thought from my head, I look around to reacquaint myself with the trail. Something's off. This place is quieter than I thought it would be.
That's how the woods are, city boy.
We live 15 minutes apart.
Yeah, I like it quiet. It's nice to not have anybody to worry about. No Mia, no Ben, no Prockling, no Scalar. We have the whole world to ourselves, and nobody else can ruin that.
That's a good way of looking at it. I pat Olivia on the shoulder. She lets out a low groan as she rests her head against my hand. You tired already?
No, just enjoying us.
If it wasn't a cloudy day, I'd think my face was starting to get burnt. Another several minutes later, and we're still going strong. You still doing okay?
Yeah, I'm still good.
It's still a bit surprising to me how your arms don't just give way from pushing yourself so often.
Well, when you've done it for as long as I have, you start building a tolerance for it.
And you've done it for a while, eh?
As long as I can remember.
Olivia?
Ah, crap, what the hell?
I turn to face her, looking at the source of the sound. The wheel in her chair is stuck in an indentation in the trail, and she's struggling to push herself out. Without a word, I quickly step behind her and grab her handlebars, helping Olivia push herself from the natural trap.
Thanks, Inko, but what was that?
I'm not sure. I take a closer look at the trail to investigate. The indentation that Olivia got caught in extends across the entirety of the trail. Almost looks like a tire track?
Huh?
I think you got stuck in a tire track. What's a tire track doing on a hiking trail?
Maybe somebody got lazy.
This place is supposed to be pedestrian traffic only. Oh boy. Yeah, oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, well, I can tell they've officially wandered off the trail. Don't know how, but they have, and so, I sense there's gonna be lost in the woods shenanigans. I feel a wave of nervousness overcome me as I glance around the breadth of the trail. When's the last time we saw a sign? Aren't there supposed to be maps around to tell us where we are? Where is everybody else? The realization dawns on me. I have no idea where we are.
Dude, seriously? I thought you planned this whole thing!
I thought we were following the signs!
Well, we need to find out where we are. I don't want to die out here.
The trail has to lead somewhere, right? If we keep going, we'll find something.
Can't we turn back?
And risk getting turned around more? We can't be too far from something. Just follow the tracks.
Okay, I trust you.
With a heavy sigh, I lead the march along the trail we're on. It's probably some kind of service road for park rangers or maintenance workers who keep the trail safe. If that's the case, we're bound to run into something or somebody that can guide us in the right direction. For every minute that we keep looking for a sign of salvation, the darker it gets. Olivia suggested that I use my phone to find the right directions, but the lack of bars throws away any means of traversal guidance. Though I keep reassuring Olivia that we'll get out of it eventually, there's a tinge of worry that begins to grow in the pit of my stomach. The last thing I want to do is spend a night in the woods. At best, I know that as long as I have my phone's compass, we won't be moving in circles. So westward we are bound, following the trail at a more cautious pace. It's as we crest a blind turn north that we finally hear salvation. Oh, another human! So this is like the first other human character we've actually seen. Well then, hello fellow human. Yes, we are other fellow human. Let us talk about human things. Why, hey there. Oh, thank Raptor Jesus, finally, another living being. The scruffy-looking gent looks to be a park ranger. You two lost? Yeah, we sorta got mixed up on the trails and couldn't find any maps. Sounds about right. Happens all too often around here. Anywho, I'm assuming you two are looking for a particular site to see?
Yeah, do you know the way?
He hums in thought for a moment with his head sweeping left and right. Finally, the ranger smells and points at a particular path, just wide enough for Olivia's chair. That one there will lead you to the best view here, and all you need to get back is take any trail east. They all branch off near the park. Thank you so much, sir. Don't mention it. Call me Ranger Teddy. He looks a little dead in the eyes, honestly, so that's why I gave him that voice. Taking the ranger's directions, we go down the narrow pathway. The thin pathway continues on for another 30 minutes and ultimately leads to a secluded table and railing. And the most breathtaking view. Olivia gasps as her eyes peer over the protective rail and takes in the vista that is the Bluffs. Over the edge, I can see a number of branches jutting from the cliff face, and past that, the ocean laps at the base of the bluff. While I look below us, Olivia's eyes lock onto something further away. I follow her eyes and... Whoa. I'm really regretting my camera now. Because what I see is a 1 in a million shot. Taking a spot on the rickety wooden table, I feel it groan beneath me. This spot must be one of the less trekked to, if the stuff here is in such disrepair. Knowing that, I feel that the spot is more private. Like our own little view of Volcodera.
Hey, Inko?
Yeah? She holds up a sketch pad, giving me the sweetest pitiful look.
Do we have time to...
Oh yeah, of course. I'm sure we can manage to get back as long as the sun is still up. Well, she better sketch fast then, because it's winter and the sun is gonna set quickly. I would guess that they probably have less than a half hour for her to get her initial sketch going. Her smile radiates with the power of 1,000 suns. And her hands quickly flip the pad open to a fresh page and start on the sketch. Compared to her deliberate strokes when painting or drawing clawligraphy... Clawligraphy? No. No. Game. I put up with a lot of wordplay, a lot of fourth wall breaking things, and a lot of bad puns, really. So I'm one that's penchant for them, but clawligraphy. I cannot forgive this. I'm sorry, really. So this is a strike against you, really. Okay. Her sketch pencil moves in quick, rapid strokes. Her head is constantly moving between the page and the cliff view, and her eye carries an ember in it, akin to what we'd done, akin to when we'd gone to the arcade. As Olivia's engrossed with drawing the beautiful bluffs, I'm engrossed by the beautiful girl's drive to create. Still, time passes and the sun slowly moves lower and lower. A cool gust of ocean air blows over us, and I see the shiver run through Olivia. Checking the time, it's only about 4 o'clock. I curse the short winter days, because Olivia's out of time. Olivia.
Almost done.
The page is almost fully used, showing a very rough duplicate of the cliffside she'd been focused on. Her final touch was to add a simple signature in the only blank space she had left, holding the full drawing up in triumph. Wow.
I know, right?
The sheer smugness radiating from her grin lasts for all of a minute, wiped away by another ocean breeze that makes both of us shiver. Even her nose scrunches up in irritation as she sniffles heavily.
Achoo!
Maybe I should take that again. Let's try that again, Holmes. Try again, Holmes, and try to sound a little bit more like you would be Olivia sneezing. And this sounds like very loud, so let's try again. Holy shit, that sounded like a fucking shotgun! Especially as it bounces off the cliff wall. I think she even managed to spook the seagulls nestling in the branches down below. Bless you. She grumbles her thanks as she wipes at her irritated nose. You okay?
Yeah.
She sniffles again.
Sea air just sucks.
The atmosphere is cooling rapidly, too. We should get going, then. Some warm food would be good.
Not yet.
When she sees my questioning look, she continues.
I want to see the sunset first.
You sure? That means we'll have to take the path back in the dark.
We'll be fine.
As proof, she shines her phone's flashlight at me. Alright then. Instead of going back to the bench, I stand beside her at the guardrail. Slowly the sun starts to dip as if sinking into the sea. Just watching the natural world move on. Simply me, Olivia, and the wonderful view in our little private spot. Fingers gently wrap around my hand, and I reciprocate until our palms are interlocked. At last, the sun crests the horizon completely, the last ray of light illuminating Olivia's tiny smile.